Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope all is well with you. So, I'm very honored and privileged to be invited to speak in front of you while virtually speaking. So, I may be the one who's talking here, but let's talk about you as well. So, my topic for tonight is all about reboot, the new you in the new normal. So actually, I just use the word reboot to somehow connect to IT professionals because I have 1% knowledge when it comes to technical stuff. And to be honest, I feel a bit intimidated when I saw the topics that have been shared with this webinar series. And a thought came to my mind, wag na lang kaya ako mag-share. But I've asked myself a question. So, why do I want to do this? And I realized that I want to do this because not for fame, not for popularity, not for me to be known, but I've realized that if I can inspire even one person tonight, then that's already a success for me. So later we'll know how why is it necessary to reboot and how we can apply it in our lives. So before we actually start, do you believe that everything has a purpose? That there's a reason why you chose to listen to this topic, and that there's a reason why we're conducting this webinar series. And whatever the reason may be, I hope that it will serve as an inspiration, a lesson, or a key takeaway for you tonight. So I think I'm done sharing memes. It's kind of tiring. Can I share my life with you? And I hope you'll share your life with me also. So again, my name is Abigail Nicole Cruz. I'm a registered estate planner and I'm a licensed financial consultant. I'm currently taking up masters in marketing at Del Salle University Taft. Before I really deep dive in my topic, I just want to ask an honest question that requires an honest answer. So you can put your comments in the or your suggestions to the live comments. Um, do you see the questions like what do I do next? Have you been asking these questions to yourself? Like, am I worthy? Do I really deserve these blessings? Or what do I want? Why do I want it? Why is it so hard to achieve my goals and my dreams? Or can I still have a stable job despite this pandemic? Or how can I overcome these challenges? What am I gonna do to level up? And I know we've been facing a lot of challenges, especially now. We've been facing an invisible enemy for 2 months or 3 months. I know some of you are still worried, and that's okay. That's normal. And some of you naman, with others, it serves as a time of rest. It serves as a time to reconnect with their families and their friends again. But you know what? These questions make us humans, and I must admit that I've also asked those questions to myself. And in my experience, those questions were answered by one question. And what is that question? This is the question: Who are you? So, who are you? Do you really know yourself? Do you really know who you are? And you can share your answers with the live comments. You can use the live comments if you want, so that I can also see or know who you really are. And I asked this question because I believe what Jay said, that you didn't know what you need in your life until you figure out who you are. And I'm gonna share my answer with that question to you. So this is my answer. I'm Abigail Cruz. I took up EB Political Science when I was in college. I'm currently taking up master's degree at Del Salle University, Manila. I'm a financial consultant. I'm a volleyball player and a car enthusiast. So that was my answer whenever someone asked me that question. And I thought that I really know myself well. But you know what? I'm gonna share you my story that given those titles, those achievements, I'm still having a hard time achieving my goals. And I feel frustrated, disappointed whenever I fall short in achieving my dreams and my short-term goals. And I'd always tell myself that, ayan, you're not worthy kasi. You're a nobody and you're a failure. Look at your friends, oh. They're achieving their goals. And you know what? I even came to that point that I was asking God and I was blaming Him for creating me in this world for nothing. And I always blame other people. I always blame my father as well for experiencing these things um, because I grew up in a broken family, and I was just in denial, but it had a great impact on me. And that's why subconsciously I used to prove myself with other people. I love the feeling of being needed just to prove my worth. And I was thinking that if I get the approval of other people, then I'm really worthy. That's why if you notice, I took up AB Political Science because my dream was to become a lawyer. Why do I want to become a lawyer? First of all, because I want to prove myself. I want to prove myself to my father, to my family. I want to prove myself to everybody that I can do it, that I can do it alone. And I want the title, I want the prestige, and I don't want the feeling na inaapi. And I want to prove my worth. And that is, at that time, yun yung important sa akin. May title, may achievements. And to be honest, it's very draining. My relationships that time were not okay. And to describe my journey, that in one word, it's magulo. It's magulo. But you know what? God is really gracious to every one of us. It's a long story, but when I was really on the verge of giving up, he allowed me to meet people like mentors, coaches that helped me reboot, to restart and improve. So let's see. Reboot. Um, According to Cambridge Dictionary, it's all about to restarting a computer by loading the operating system and to boot again, especially in order to get rid of a problem or after you have put new software onto the computer. And why is it necessary? Rebooting allows the computer to restart and get back to working normally. And the question is, what are the things that we need to reboot? What are the things that we need to reboot? So I just call it reboot, but for me, it's all about realignment. It's all about alignment of our soul, our body, our spirit, our mind, and it's all about knowing who we really are. Because as we are human beings, but we are also spiritual beings. We are energetic beings, and we are composed of the soul, the body, the mind, the spirit, and it is important because um, when we are not in balance, we are stressed, and we cannot function at our best. I know you've experienced that, and long-term stress ultimately leads to what? To frustration, to fatigue, disease. So here we can see that the mind are composed of conscience, emotions, volition, and self-consciousness. And this is one of my favorite authors, John Maxwell, and he said here that when values, thoughts, feelings, and actions are in alignment, a person becomes focused and character is strengthened. And I believe that. I believe that. I really believe that, and I've experienced that. So let's look at some interesting facts. So as you can see here, no, our mind is composed of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. As you can see, 95% of our lives is controlled by the subconscious mind, and 5 to 10% is controlled by the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is a data bank for everything. It stores your beliefs, your previous experience. As I've mentioned to you earlier, I used to prove myself because unconsciously I haven't replaced that bad memory in my mind. And everything that you have seen, that you have done or thought is also there. So I'm telling to you these things for us to be aware, because awareness is really the key, and it gives us a clear direction. We need to know how our mind works. We need to guard our minds because all of our actions are just a manifestation of our beliefs and habits. And and there are good and bad beliefs. And I know most of us know this, but sometimes we need to be reminded to eliminate those negative self-talk, those doubts, those fears. Why? Because we are so bombarded of a lot of information, and not just information, negative information. And according to study, our mind is being programmed with these thoughts. So we have to be aware of the thoughts that we entertain in our minds. So my point here is just to remind us that if we are not aware and we're not careful of the thoughts that we entertain, then unconsciously it becomes our habit. And our habits, whether good or bad, creates results. So sometimes we wonder, di ba, why di ko na-achieve yung goal ko or yung dreams ko? We're so focused on the outer problem that we sometimes tend to forget that we have to check our roots, we have to check our inner selves, and we have to make it balance. So according to study, our mind, according to success consciousness, our mind, experts estimate that the mind thinks between 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So that's an average of 2,500 or to 3,300 thoughts per hour. So that these are the words that we repeat in our mind, the questions, the answers, and a lot of senseless wondering that you might not even be aware of. And learning to reprogram our subconscious mind will help us believe in ourselves, because our confidence will no longer be challenged by fear of the unknown. But more importantly, doing so will train our brain to be in line with our desires, with our goals, and with our dreams, with our life goals. So let me share with you the positive affirmations that I used to tell myself. Um, as you can see here, you are amazing, you are enough, you are loved, and you are one in a million, or you are one in a melon. So I used to tell that to myself because those positive affirmation or repeating positive affirmation are so effective. And 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 while you're listening to me, you can also tell that to yourself. Tell that to yourself that you are amazing, that you are enough, that you are worthy, because you know what, you are. And I believe that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are amazing. And this can actually reprogram our thought patterns by sleeping in positive and success oriented sound bites, by focusing your thoughts on uplifting ideas, or your subconscious mind will begin to implement a positive pattern in your way of thinking and your outlook on life. So it's not an overnight process, though. It takes commitment and discipline. Yes, it takes commitment, it takes discipline. So I'm gonna share with you an illustration that I've made, um, based on my experiences, based on what I've read, based on the knowledge that have been shared with me. So I'm gonna share it with you too. So I made an illustration here. So the we will be able to know the importance of the soft skills. So I'm really a believer of the soft skills because I know that our outer core is only a manifestation of our inner core. And hard skills are useless without soft skills. But I'm not saying that hard skills are not important. Well, for example, I've mentioned in my story that I used to prove my worth. Because the truth is, I have resentment inside of me, and it manifests in my actions. And as I have mentioned, I'm a financial consultant, and I call our business a business of rejection, especially in our country, because according to BSP, according to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, only 2% of Filipino people are financially literate. So others are very skeptics, and when they hear about financial planning. So my point here is that if your foundation is weak, then the tendency is really to quit. So soft skill is all about you. It's all about your inner core, your values, your character, your attitude, your interpersonal skills, and it's all about emotional intelligence. Okay? So I want to share some stories with you, and this is one of my most memorable stories in my career. So someone referred to me to this person, and then I met her. She's actually a businesswoman. She has a lot of different businesses, and she's rich actually. And then I met her, and I introduced myself, and then uh, she told me this verbatim to. Sabi niya, "Ano yan? Insurance? Naku, hindi ako naniniwala diyan. Mga manloloko lang kayo. Tsaka mabulaklak lang yung mga sinasabi niyo. Nagpa-promise kayo pero scam yan at nangloloko lang kayo." But you know what? I just smiled at her, and I asked her, um, "Ma, may I know what are the reasons behind this anger?" And um, but she told me the whole story. And my point here is, at that time, I was thinking to myself that that is your issue and that is your belief. Because I know what I'm doing, I know who I really am, and um, I'm not fooling anyone just to earn money. but I understand her. I understand her because she had a bad experience. But my point here is that if you don't know yourself, if you don't know who you really are, and then your our tendency is to take those words personally. And you know what? That will affect us. That will affect us. So basically, emotional intelligence sums it all up. And the truth is, soft skills are harder to learn than hard skills because it takes conscious effort, ongoing practice, and a commitment to self development. And hard skills may look impressive on our CV, but the soft skills are what will set us apart from the many candidates who have similar expertise to us. And the hard skills, these are the examples of the hard skills, the technical mastery, management, analytics, programming, video production. So in my case, I took up pricing strategy last term in the graduate school, no, and that's not my forte actually, and that's not my interest. However, don't get me wrong, I still want to learn that subject, and I want to know how I can apply that in the real world. So but I'm really having a hard time processing it. But when I practice solving for the volume, the cost, the markup, the percentage, then I can say that I have developed the skill. But I'm not the expert, but I have developed that skill. And and that motivation to practice that skill comes from within because it's a matter of attitude, and it's a matter of character. And my point is that that's the importance of what I'm saying, of the soft skills. And the most important thing here is the winner circle. They call it inner circle, but I made my own, which is the winner circle. And I call it winner circle because these are the people, the mentors, the coach, the support system, your great company. These are the people that will help you win. They are These are the people that will guide you, that will support you, um, that will help you to do better. And these people don't have hidden agendas. They just really want to leave a legacy and pass their knowledge to the next generation. And the only time that you can consider that that's really a winner circle when you have these ingredients. As you can see, the accountability, the commitment, the trust, the honesty, loyalty, and humility. But for me, humility there is very important. Why? Because if we are humble enough to get smarter people than us, if we are humble enough to ask for their help, if we are humble enough to share the credit, then nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And this winner circle will give you new ideas, new strategies. They will impart with you wisdom, structures, and systems. And your winner circle must have a strong foundation. Hindi ibig sabihin nagko-coffee kayo every day or nagkukwentuhan every day, winner circle na siya. Okay? And this is very important because we're going to become like the people we associate with. So our friends, our winner circle should be sharpening us and helping us to do better. And if you want a winner circle, it also means that we have to let go of some people. And actually, it's really hard to let go. And I can say that because I've experienced that. And especially in my case, I'm a very relational person. So it's really hard to let go. But you know what? I've realized that when you let go of those people who are dragging you down, when you let go of those people who are not happy with your successes, then that's the time that you achieve true freedom and inner peace. And just to share you my story, just recently I've experienced this. I've experienced betrayals. But you know what? I find comfort sa nangyari. Because as early as now, I can tell na who I want to associate myself with. And that's okay. That's okay. That happens. What's important is that we have a strong foundation. Yeah, and this is the most exciting part of knowing who we really are, embracing who we really are, and having the strong support system. We can now this is the result of knowing who we really are. If we really know who we really are, if you know yourself, you can now operate based on your strengths. Because I've noticed that most of the time we're so focused on our weaknesses and how we can improve our weaknesses that we tend to forget that we have innate talents, we have innate gifts and abilities. We just have to discover it. So most of the time, we're so focused sa outer problems. I'll give you a simple example. So, for example, you see a tree na pangit yung bunga and hindi okay. We think that the problem lies ahead with the bunga. But the truth is we have to check the roots. And in our case, we have to check our inner selves. And if you win those battles, if you settle those issues that inwardly conflict, you feel a sense of peace, a sense of what you are about. And these battles are fought out daily in the silent chambers of our souls. And just to share with you, I have a lot of friends who are in the HR position, and they always tell me that technical skills or hard skills are nothing if we can't handle ourselves, our emotions, other people's behavior toward us, and our relationships. And the objective of this topic is to really know ourselves, to really handle our emotions, to accept our flaws, our triggers, our weaknesses, so that we can operate based on our strengths, based on our gifts, based on our abilities. So as you can see here, uh, I have a picture there. Then when I embrace myself, or when I embrace who I really am, I begin to appreciate the little things, and I begin to appreciate my own process, and that's the result. That's the result of knowing who we really are. And in my case, in my own journey, those achievements, those certifications, I just consider them as bonus na lang. What matters is that I learned to embrace myself, accept my flaws, and now I can really say that I can catch myself whenever there are bad thoughts na nag-pop up sa mind ko. And that's the beauty of having the winner circle, because they're the ones who's gonna remind you if you sometimes forget that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to rest, and when to let go, when to move forward again. So um, with these achievements and certification, my favorite is the one in the center, because that is that's who I really am. I believe that I'm someone who can make a big difference. So as you can see sa right side, that's my life verses. I'm not talking about religion here, but that's the truth. As you can see there, Jeremiah 33, call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that I will be given a privilege to speak here, and who would have thought that I will have a privilege to know you, to talk to you, to connect with you, and those are my positive affirmations, and those verses keep me motivated. And one of the one of the most um one of the book one I'm sorry, the book that has made a great impact in my life is really the Bible. Actually, I know you're all intellectual here, and We cannot deny the fact that it's one of the most influential books in the whole world. So it makes sense na basahin ko siya. And that's where I find the truth. That's why I shared with you my life verses. To sum it up, we've talked about soft skills, and it's all about emotional intelligence. Okay, and it's all about you, your gifts, your talents, having a relationship with yourselves and others. As I've mentioned in our career, it's all about people. It's all about the relationships and understanding them. So how can I build a relationship with these people if I don't have a relationship with myself? And alignment is all about knowing what you really want, why you want it, and who you really are. And the result of that is that you can operate based on your strengths. You can now maximize your innate gifts and abilities to make a big difference. The strength based mentality helps us to get past the average or the okay level and the popular thinking. Once you discover who you are at the top of your game, you can use your strengths to better shape your beliefs, your ideas, and your actions. So don't let your age, the fear of disapproval, and other people's opinion hinder you from doing your true purpose. Because if you don't know who you really are, you'll end up comparing yourself with other people. And I've experienced that. I used to compare myself with other people. That's why I feel worthless. I feel that I'm not enough. And you'll always measure your success or your progress based on numbers and not on your progress. But always remember this, that if you're improving 1% a day, you'll improve 365% by the end of the year. So we must be aware of these truths. So now whenever someone asks me that question, who are you? I can answer them right away and tell them this. I'm Abigail V. Cruz. I'm someone who can make a big difference in this world. I believe that my purpose is to inspire, to encourage, to grow with you, and to add value to other people like they add value to myself. I'll be here to build and maintain an encouraging environment that will make a significance to our generation and leave a legacy for the generations to come. And now I can answer that question right away because I believe that I know myself. I know who I really am. And here's my last slide, and this is my personal message to you. I hope that this topic will help you unleash your greatest potentials and you'll face the new normal with an amazing you. And let me read it to you. I believe that you are created in this world for a purpose and for a mission. We are not here just to exist, just to work, just to pay our bills. We are here to create and build deep and meaningful relationships with each other in order to fulfill our particular mission because we're created to help each other. We are created here on earth to build up each other. And if I don't have a relationship with the ambassador of the women uh, tech makers, Miss Jeline Deroy, then I won't have this privilege to share my knowledge, to share my thoughts with you. And we can only do that if we have a relationship within ourselves. Always remember that you are a diamond in the making and you are capable of amazing things. And I pray and hope that God will speak to your hearts and let God use your lives to be a channel of blessings to those who are hurting, to those who are suffering, and to those who are lost. And always remember that anybody can be somebody. If we will just open our eyes, we will see that there are a lot of people who are actually hurt, that who are actually lost and suffering, and I'm just so thankful that someone believed in me. And I hope that you'll share this with others as well. And before I end, before I end my topic, I've created an action plan for you. I want to share it with you. And there's a list of the books that I've read that impacted my life, and I want to share it with you through email. So you can send me your emails, and then I'll share with you. If you want a copy of that, I'll share that with you. So always remember that I believe in you, and I hope that you'll be a channel of blessings to others as well. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for spending your time with me. And I didn't include my the action plan in the PowerPoint. So I did that on purpose because I want to stay connected with you. I want to stay connected with you. So you can send your emails, and then I'll share with you a copy of the action plan that worked for me. So I hope it will help you. It will help you face these new challenges, the new normal with an amazing you. So thank you very much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Do you have any questions? I'm sorry. Sorry for being emotional. But do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Or basta if you want that copy, if you want that action plan, I can share that with you. So that's all. Thank you very much, and enjoy your weekends. And thank you for the privilege of, and thank you. It's an honor to share my knowledge, my experiences to you. Thank you.